In today's video, I want to talk to you about the activities that I include in the packets that I pass around to my residents in the times of COVID. Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Polo on Paper. Now, activity departments may always offer independent leisure items, but with everything going on with COVID and a lot of residents having to be confined to their rooms for the time being, those independent leisure packets have become a lot more important in the last few months. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the things that I've included in my packets, how successful they've been or haven't been, and maybe you guys can try it out in your own packets and you guys can let me know how it works. The first and the most obvious one, let's just get them out of the way, word searches. For word searches, I usually use 3 different sources. Either a word search that I bought, which I then copy and pass out to the residents. I also use 2 websites that I print from. One of them is the wordsearch.com and puzzles.ca. Both websites have their pros and cons. For example, the wordsearch.com does divide the word searches by category, which is great for when you're trying to do a theme day. So they have an animal category, TV show category, color, healthcare, whatever. Puzzles.ca puts the word searches in alphabetical order. So certain kinds are a little bit harder to find unless you know specifically what you're looking for. However, when you click on a link for a word search on puzzles.ca, it turns it from blue to purple. That way, when you go back to the website, you know which puzzles you've used and which ones you haven't, which is a problem that I have when I go to the wordsearch.com. Sometimes I can't remember if I've used that word search before or not. I do about 5 word searches per packet, so I've gone through a lot of them. Number 2 is coloring books. Coloring books have been getting used for independent leisure projects for as long as I've been an activity professional, and adult coloring has really taken off in the last few years. A type of coloring sheet that surprised me how well it did with my residents was one day I accidentally printed off an anime girl with like long hair and flowers in her hair, and the residents loved it. And after that I started doing more anime photos and they really just took off. Barbie is really good too. Any coloring sheets with Barbie on it, they love. Number 3 is something that I spoke to you guys about before on my last video, and that is categories. The only downfall with categories is that you have to make them yourself. I haven't found any sheets on the internet yet where someone makes something like this, but you basically choose a category and then choose 5 or 6 letters within that category, and your residents have to name something. So you could type up a category that says, name a really cool YouTube channel that talks about activity director stuff, and then your resident would be like, Polo on Paper, we love them. Please subscribe. I think the hardest part, besides having to type this up myself, is that I have to come up with different categories that I haven't done before. So I don't do categories like every single day. I'd say I do like every 3 days, so that it gives me some time to come up with more categories for the residents to use. Number 4 is word scrambles. Now, when I say word scrambles, a lot of people usually think of when you take a word, move all the letters around, and then you let your residents figure out what the word originally was. And those are great, but once they figure out all the words on the paper, then they're done. So on top of doing those type of word scrambles, I do another one where I choose either a big word or a phrase, put it at the top of the page, and then I have the residents use all the letters in that word or phrase to come up with as many words as possible. And I've actually had residents who surprised me. I've had residents who took like a 12-letter word and were able to come up with like 213 other words using those same letters. I prefer this version over the other one just because it does give them something to do for a little bit longer than if they just figure out what the word was and then that's it. Word Scramble is also a great game to play as a group if your facility allows you to do groups right now. And number 5 is math problems. I honestly thought I was done with school, but I'm not. When talking to one of my friends from a different facility, she told me that at her facility, the residents are really liking math problems. My initial reaction was like, ew, but then I was like, you know what, whatever, let's try it, it's something different. I did it and the residents actually loved it. The only downside is that I have to grade all of their papers and return them back. I never in a million years did I think that was going to be a thing. But hey, it works and it keeps them busy and it stimulates their mind. Number 6 is something I call rhyme time. Rhyme time is another activity you're going to have to make yourself. So what you do is you choose 5 or 6 words, put them on your piece of paper, and then you tell your residents to find as many words that rhyme with those chosen words as possible. You'll be surprised how creative your residents can get with this one, because there's a lot of words that I personally didn't even think of myself when I wrote the words out. Number 7 and 8, I grouped together just because they're similar. Those are finding hidden items in pictures or spot the difference in between 2 pictures. Personally, at my facility, these 2 have not been very popular just because they do tend to be very hard for the residents to see. So it is harder for them to find those items. However, if the residents at your facility are higher functioning or younger, those types of activities might be really good for them. I'm always looking for new things to do as an activity director, and I'm sure that if you're watching this video as a director, you are too. So if any of the things that I told you helped you today, or if you have any other ideas that you include in your packets that I did not talk about, make sure you put them in the comments, and hopefully we can all help each other. If you like today's video, make sure that you like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the bell. You can also follow me on Instagram on @polylook. There I post some of the upcoming projects and any videos that I'll be posting on here. If you didn't like today's video, then I am going to need you to create an activity packet based on why you didn't like it, pass it out to your residents, and see what they say. Because I'm pretty sure your residents will like it. Okay, bye.